Hello, y'all. I didn't even want to come on here and talk about this, but I saw this last night and the Lord kind of unraveled it for me between last night and this morning. I was listening to the radio last night and Usher's Good Good came on, and that's the new song that just came out. And I did a blog post talking about this. I called it Still Good. But what the Lord showed me is there are some of the counterfeits that you got a dang spouse split with amicably, meaning they walked away and were good about it. But this particular counterfeit is a hinge, is what I'm hearing. This is somebody that, because they separated from them amicably, they could become a door. How so? I'm being reminded, and we've all seen it in movies, right? And particularly the way that the song put it is, this is a person that they separated from, but because they had such a good relationship, they did stuff for them. I remember when my relationship ended, that person gave me money to start something. And it worked. But the fact of the matter is, one, when a person gives you finance, and I learned this from a pastor, a female pastor, that actually can create a financial attachment to that individual that you have to break. I know, because I had a dream the other night where the very person that gave me money, I had to do a spiritual break. I talked about this in another message. And on top of that, this person now has an open door because the person gave them money. This person can come back at any particular point in time and see, because they had an amicable separation. I remember years ago, I had a friend of mine, and she made the point of saying that she needs to never stop being friends with any of her exes. And I'm sitting there like, I don't see how that works. And she was friends with all of the men that she used to date. And I'm like, I don't see how that works. And the fact of the matter is, knowing what I know spiritually now, that's an open door. Because as long as they still friends with that person, at any point in time, the devil can tap that person to become a wedge between you and your husband. And it'll look innocent at the beginning, because that person will come in. They may go to lunch with him. They might go talking to him. It's funny. Oh my God. God showed me this the other day. I was watching the Jeffersons, and Weezy and George were arguing about the fact that she went out with one of her classmates that was a male, that was a friend. And he said, how much you going out, whatever. You know how George does. And she came back at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like, where was you? What was you doing? Blah, 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 blah. She said, we went out to dinner and we had a drink afterwards, and I came back. And he's like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You know how George does. And then he got so jealous, he went out with his secretary that he did the books with every month. And he wanted to make her jealous, but the woman actually ended up telling him, oh, well, if y'all ain't got nothing to be jealous about, I mean, why would you be concerned? I mean, you and I have been friends for all this time, and that's the way it goes. And there's a comfortability between the two of them, and it's not like the man feels anything, but we've all seen the movie. Look at, what's the name? Breaking Dawn, the Twilight films. That boy was in love with Bella for years, and he stuck around just to wait to see if he could get a chance with Bella, and was so pissed off when she married Edward. And he still stuck around hoping that he could get in between the two of them. You saw how many times he tried to get in between the two of them? Making up stuff, bringing strife and confusion so they wouldn't leave and go somewhere else to be together. See, and getting back to the Jeffersons episode, the wife, she went out with the guy, but the guy ended up immediately after he had gotten in for a while, he ended up saying, "I'm into you, I like you." And some of y'all know your husband's fine. Let's just be honest. So, these women, they will stay being friends. Oh, let's go to lunch every once in a while. I'll call, check it up on you, see how you doing. Let me tell you something that happened to, this woman actually coached me, and she said that in her previous marriage, she said that there was a woman that she was friends with that knew her husband, and they used to all be friends, and this person actually used to mentor her. And when she was in high school all the way up, and after she got married and started having her kids, this woman was coming in and trying to usurp her authority in her household. She would always go and talk to her husband about things that she told her. Think about that. If a woman comes into your house because they friends with your husband trying to become friends with you, and then try to start a wedge between you and him because, hey, she was friends with him, and you ain't got no girlfriends like that, so they like, oh, let me be your girlfriend. Let me tell you something else that happened. I was watching CSI Cyber. The wife didn't have friends like that, but this woman was obsessed with her husband, so she went to the same gym that the wife went to and befriended the wife, and the wife didn't know that this woman was stalking her husband. So she become all friendly with the wife, and then the husband comes in the house, and she's sitting in his house. And he shook because he's like, I know you stalking me because. So, yeah. No old friends. It's an open door. There's a hinge for something else to happen. I heard the prophet that I listened to, Dr. Whitaker, she said this years ago. She had a word called Matters of the Heart, and it's still up. And she talked about the fact that she had her husband separate from his old female friends because of the fact that she knew it was a door. And we know with the spiritual warfare that we deal with, anybody, I talked about this the other day when I talked about the movie The Fallen, anybody that got an open door, that spirit can jump on. Whoever has access to your husband. I don't care if it's an old counterfeit. I don't care. If the devil can use them to be a wedge between you and your spouse, don't think that he won't do it. So they may be good, but that could be a problem later. If the Lord tells you to pray. If that's going to be a problem. And pray for the separation of it if it's going to be a problem. That was the warning that the Lord showed me to give y'all. So until next time, much love, peace, and blessings to you.